All right, so we're moving on to our next match where Rewind, Hara's Rewind, from Las Vegas himself. And he is an Atrocitus and Black Adam player. We saw him play about almost actually entirely Atrocitus throughout the entire first half of this game's life.
He graced us with some sprinkled on Adam here and there, but
yeah, and he does still play quite a bit of Adam. But the other Adam player that we have here is
DJ.
And the big story for him is that he didn't even start entering Hometown Heroes until maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago.
It was
so
like 3 weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't even been here for even like half, maybe about half of the entire league. But even throughout then, look, he's already moved himself up to rank 3.
So here's the also other interesting aspect of their matchup, right? Is both of them are playing characters that were more so changed than the rest of the cast. Black Adam and Atrocitus.
Definitely two of the, most, I believe the term is normalized.
Oh, wait a second.
All right, so I haven't seen Rewind play Batman, but I did know that he released a Batman B&B video a little while ago. They're very, very cool. You should check out his Twitter for that. But yeah, maybe this is a pick based on the patch. Maybe this is something that he's been picking and I just haven't had a chance to see it. But I'm really excited to see a Rewind Batman. Now, we were talking a little bit earlier about the changes to each of their characters. Atrocitus has a lot less time to be able to use Dexstar. I believe that's really the main change for him. And Black Adam, the main change really is just damage.
Yep, his damage has all but been normalized. Wow, 2.
Okay, that was some, I said this term before, but really some maniac play. He did slide on hit into slide, and it hit.
I don't really know what to say.
Yeah, I don't either.
So the main change here with Black Adam is actually to his Black Magic.
Right.
So you no longer get, there's actually more recovery frames. Is that the right word? I mean,
well, there are two different things. First of all, it does actually recover slower on hit. And then B, it causes sort of an auto block, which is what they call it. So in NRS games, you can be plus quite a bit, but not be able to actually combo a normal after it in a lot of situations. So even though Black Magic might still be plus 23, or that's just the number I'm throwing out there.
Yeah.
You can't actually combo a 20-frame normal
after. That's because he's still technically recovering, and then there's that auto block feature that you just spoke about. So that's the major change, meaning that if you do use Black Magic with Black Adam now, you absolutely have to burn meter in order to get any sort of follow-up with it.
Right, which is what we saw right there, although he did actually drop the combo.
This won't end well for you.
On top of that, his orb damage has been reduced. His forward 1-2 plus grab string damage has been reduced. I believe it was 13 damage, now it's 10 or something along those lines.
Small man.
Just everything he does damage-wise. Boot stomp, his dive kick damage has been reduced. But I think actually low lightning is still the same though.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. The big thing here for him is that his zoning tools are still all effectively the same amount of damage. His lightning hands, his low lightning, meter burn low lightning. Technically, Black Magic, even though you don't get the follow-up, it's still the same amount of damage. So his keep away game is still going to be very strong.
Sure. And I just saw he just did 440, and that is still very healthy damage.
Right, yeah, his normal damage is still nothing short of some of the highest in the entire game.
It's just not blatantly the highest anymore.
I mean, without any sort of meter, as long as he has trade, he can still hit confirm his forward 1-2 into about 370 damage, which is very, very high. As far as meterless damage goes, it's up there with the best of them, with like Batman and Harley, maybe just short of Grodd, but his meterless damage is great.
Yeah, and you have to remember, he technically doesn't even have to work as hard as the other characters for that meterless damage, right? So
yeah, potentially. Well, he's always in a good situation no matter what. Now,
I believe meter burn lightning, low lightning still does around 200 damage as well. So I mean, and these are all tools that he uses in neutral anyway, you know what I'm saying? So he's still really good. It's just he's not damn good.
I don't know, he's still pretty damn good, but we're seeing another character that's still pretty damn good from
Superman.
Rewind. And that's not a character that I've ever seen Rewind pick. Superman, he's going with the two of the big three, I guess you could call it.
Yeah, and that is the tournament shader.
Oh yeah, let's talk about those. So tournament shaders were just released. You can buy those to help support the esports scene, help support the tournament scene, in just every little way. Plus, of course, they're really cool.
Yeah,
especially
they're really cool shaders.
The characters that have armor, I think, look
the best.
Yeah,
I
I think they're the best of the best. Green Lantern with it, Blue Beetle, Cyborg looks good. Even actually, the weird one that I thought looked really cool was And of course, there are two types.
Just constant jumping back from rewind is it's actually kind of hilarious.
Yeah, no, he's playing a very patient game, which is pretty smart.
Oh, interesting. Burns 2 bars to do even more damage, but only getting 4. I mean, I say only, but he actually could have got just as much potentially with just burning 1 bar.
Yeah, that is true. Now, everybody's still getting used to all the different damage changes and figuring out what's optimal. And I mean, there are different combo pads now with Black Adam. If you really want to get his optimal damage, you used to do every sort of string into a confirm with trait. But now you actually save the trait until later in the combo, and it does considerably more damage. So there are still a lot of things that we all have to learn. And Rewind has quite a lead, but Black Adam's damage is still Black Adam damage. He still gets about 400 from the meter burn dive kick. He still gets huge damage from zoning, like we said earlier.
I love the forward 1 staggers from DJT. Oh.
That was definitely an accident. He actually could have finished it off with that, but wasn't expecting the accidental rising grab, and he wasn't expecting it to hit for sure.
Oh!
And that was actually a great adaptation based on one of the normalizations that the dash punch got, which is now dash punch is a hot. So instead of blocking it and trying to punish it, he actually just ducked it, did it down 1, and got a full punish. It was very smart by DJT, but it wasn't quite enough because at that point he already had such a life deficit.
Yeah, there was a lot of life missing from Mr. Denzel Turi's side.
Mr. Denzel Turi. We were just talking about how long he's another person, just like Crazy, who's been in this scene for so long.
Since actually, so I met DJT online in MK9 back when he was playing Sub-Zero. I mean, that was the first character he played with. I was like, man, this guy's like annoyingly good. And then I met him at Evo, and he was just always so strong from the start. He was like one of the best players in our scene, like immediately.
He was. I remember. I mean, I will never forget. Evo 2011. Sitting there, there's this person named DJT MIT, and everybody's confused because they've heard of this DJT MIT, but it's 2 people, DJT and MIT. They're brothers. Now, DJT made it to top 8 in that Evo, where he played Liu Kang and Sub-Zero. And I very specifically remember, we can't ever forget, Tom Brady sitting there in the crowd yelling, "Who's this fraudulent Sub-Zero?" And then Pig of the Hut gets up and he says, "Well, you're not up there in top 8." Oh, they had some, there was some really fun arguments.
Some words were exchanged, I believe.
Yeah.
And it was funny because I was sitting very close to Pig. Those were good times, man.
They were, but DJT, ever since then, he's been so successful. I think he's definitely one of the players with the most Evo medals, Evo NRS medals.
Yes, him and his brother have accrued quite a few.
Yeah, they've missed very few years. Of course, second place in the first Evo for the first Injustice.
But that's kind of cheating, right? Because when one brother doesn't make it, the other one does. So they always have a presence in top 8. I think the only year they haven't was actually this year.
This year, and I think there was one of the past 2 years where they didn't, but almost every single year aside from that, which is extremely impressive, especially DJT, always placing really well, including winning Evo for Mortal Kombat 9 in, I believe, 2013.
That's true. We can't forget that MIT was actually a Fatal 8 alumni himself.
Oh, that is true. I forgot about Fatal 8.
Getting to the grand finals with Fox.
Nothing short of impressive, but right now, I think Rewind's going to have to show how impressive he is if he wants to make this comeback. Making comebacks against Black Adam, still one of the toughest things in the game. Oh!
He does end up getting a hit.
But now he's going to have to stop him from pull. Oh, whoa! That was an interesting, was that, did he meter burn 4-3 cancel?
Yeah,
it looked like back 2.
Yeah, 4-2 meter burn, cancel into the overhead.
I guess maybe it was 4-2. It looked like back 2. I must have just been mistaken. But that means that really good adaptation throughout that game by DJT. Definitely kind of got, I don't know. It was pretty one-sided the last game, so he adapted to the playstyle. This is a pretty volatile matchup. Two really high damage, high mobility characters with very good footsies tools. So really the momentum can kind of decide the pace of the match, and then whoever has the life lead can start their own zoning, and it can kind of run away with it.
Yep. And then something I want to note is that we haven't seen Rewind pick Atrocitus, and as I say that, of course, which is a character he felt comfortable using against other Adams the last time we saw him.
That is true. It is his tried and true main. It's the character that he has received most of his success with.
But the character is different, Evan.
The character
slightly different.
Is definitely slightly different. There are a few changes. Nothing too huge. There's been a lot of debate, actually, about just how good Atrocitus is post-patch. Now, the main thing is that while Dexstar is out, push blocks remove more meter from Dexstar. Using the projectiles removes more meter, and using the shield removes a ton more meter. Now, he can still do quite a few Dexstar Blood Ball pressure strings. He can do about 6 or 7 Blood Balls within one Dexstar summon, which is still quite a bit, but you can only do about 3 shields, and that is a huge difference because shield ended up being kind of the main combo and pressure tool.
Yeah, no, you're right.
On top of that, forward 2-2-3 no longer jails into the breath, so you don't have quite a safe option off of the overhead ender is used to. And DJT really just controlling the whole thing. Wow, what a read in neutral, going for the raw Bloodnado. That is so punishable, but he's going to take advantage of that. Ends in the punch float to try to get a little bit further towards the wall. Oh, and he carries important. Good push block, and as you see right here, Dexstar's gone.
Yeah, that's it.
DJT really taking advantage of how the patch affected the push block.
Nice block. Oh, very small punish though, and what a... that was very interesting.
He landed in that in a really weird angle.
You'd be a perfect Red Lantern. A compliment indeed.
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 I love that. That was kind of a nice conversation. He's like, oh, well, thank you. What a compliment.
Like, well, I also think you look nice today. You know?
All right, this shouldn't quite be enough to kill. Ooh, he's actually going to...
And he gets right over it. Dexstar, though, unfortunately, is gone.
Yeah, Dexstar completely removing itself. You know, I feel like I never saw that before the patch, so I could be crazy, but I feel like it's new, but they didn't say anything about it. So maybe it's just some little bit of lack of knowledge by me, but the fact that he decides to pet Dexstar during that kind of win transition means that there's a lot of time for it to recharge.
Yep, and mixes on mixes now. We are seeing a little more of a risk versus reward playstyle coming out of Rewind as he is going for a few more blood puddles.
Oh, that could have been a big combo, but he gets the reverse unblockable. Oh, and now life lead is for Rewind. He has to land something, but it's going to be tough. There should be
trying to wake up, and it didn't work. DJT with the risk of his own. That wake up is not very good.
It's not, and I'm surprised that even though he was waking up right there, he wasn't trying to also break, because there's always the risk of that being stuck.
Sure,
it doesn't have a lot of invincibility, so you might as well throw it out and then just say, hey, if I get hit, I'm going to break.
Yeah.
If not, I'm just going to be holding forward and block anyway.
That's
right?
true. That's true.
But that means that Rewind, with a huge comeback, is going to tie it up.
Still looking quite comfortable against Black Adam with Atrocitus.
He is, and this has been one of the matchups that has been considered infamously tough for Atrocitus.
Yeah.
And all the reasons why it's tough are still there. It's just the reward for them not quite as high.
Yeah, now Adam has to work maybe one more mix-up in there.
Right, yeah, that's actually just about it.
Yeah.
Like one more full combo per game, which is a big deal.
Right, because instead of 2 combos, he just needs 3 now.
Ooh, interesting way to summon Dexstar, but it's going to give him the free pressure. Oh, what a
cage. Interesting.
I wonder if that's an actual intentional punish.
Maybe the ball goes under the or over the cage?
That's exactly what happened right there. I think maybe he just didn't have the meter to follow it up, but it was a very good punish. Got rid of Dexstar. But not the first time that we've seen the raw blood puddle in neutral work. And the reason why that works is that if you're walking around trying to walk back, get out of the range or get into the range of the kind of footsie range that you want as Black Adam, you're going to be moving. And if you're moving, you're not crouching, you're not crouch blocking. And of course, Bloodnado is a low.
Wow, he has caught like almost every single one of those low landings with With a blood puddle.
Oh, wow, that could have been a huge punishment. You could see he missed the dive kick. Yeah. He tried.
Just kind of jumping 3. And now look at this massive life deficit coming in for DJT as it is now 2-2.
Well, again, Dexstar gone so quickly. One pressure string into a block escape, and that was really all it took to get him gone.
Wow, beautiful down 2 punish on the 4-1-2 whiff, and now DJT is starting to look a little hopeless now, stuck in the corner.
Oh, this is going to be big damage. Still Black Adam damage. Oh, unless he drops it, then it's not going to be anything significant. Plus, he gets punished for it, taking a lot of chip in the corner. Dexstar is available for any chance that Rewind gets. Oh, what? Down 2 into meter burn, back 3 cancel? I legitimately don't have any idea what he was fishing for with that, but it worked. I mean, sometimes you block it down 2 and you just want to swing because it's punishable. So I guess that's what he was trying to bait. But
that was actually ridiculous.
How appropriate, though, that he starts off the set with Batman slide on hit into another slide and it hits, and then he ends the set with down 2 meter burn back 3 cancel. Oh, I don't even, you know, sometimes you just got to do it. You got to make the crazy reads, the things that people don't expect, because they're like, oh, he would never ever do that, but it works. And Rewind, that was really looking so good for DJT at the end of that second game. It looked like he was about to just really win the whole thing 3-1, just run away with it, but instead Rewind just barely kind of readjusted.
DJT, it sounded like he was almost going to mop.
Mop, and that's what he said he was going to do today.
Yeah, well, so far he's finding himself now at the loser's side of things.